What do you want? All right. Thank you, Rob. Because it helps them and provides positive outcomes for their life. Because I think everybody deserves healthcare. Because they're human. Gender affirming care is healthcare. What do you...
Who wants to change up? And why do they deserve to be able to do that? Why can't it be up to their parents?
What do you think healthcare is? Like, just in general.
Healthcare
Uh-huh.
is when you need something to make yourself better.
Okay. So gender affirming care makes them better. So gender affirming care
In
would be
whose
healthcare.
opinion?
They're doctors. The people whose opinions we would look to when it comes to healthcare. A doctor.
Then shouldn't the topic title be minors need gender affirming care?
Not all of them need it.
Then why do they deserve it?
Because
if they need it, they need it.
Because every person.
But why do they deserve it?
Because every person deserves healthcare. I thought I was pretty straightforward on that.
So how would a 5 or 6 year old who's talking about I'm really this other gender, right? And their parents are saying no. Let's wait on it. Let's give it some time. Let me have you talk to somebody, which is also a form of health care, you know?
Rob, can you describe
Why
to
would
me
that
the, can you
kid
describe to me the
need
process?
to have?
Can you describe to me the process of receiving gender affirming care, specifically gender affirming medical care? Can you describe to me the process that someone must go through in order to receive this?
I'm sure that there's some kind of psychological analysis involved.
Okay, so you don't know the process that goes through with receiving gender affirming medical care. If you do not know the process, if you do not know the process that goes into receiving gender affirming medical care, how can you claim that the process needs to be different?
I'm not claiming that.
You are.
But you're claiming that they deserve gender affirming care.
No, you fully claim that the process needs to be different. You said, don't you think that there should be some X, Y, or Z thing that should be happening instead? This would denote that you believe that the process needs to be different in some way, but you don't know what the process is currently. So how can you know it needs to be different if you don't know what goes through the process now?
Because of the first word in your sentence there, minors. There should be a totally different aspect of healthcare for minors when dealing with minors.
You don't know what the aspect of the healthcare right now is. So how can you make that claim? You don't know what you don't know the criteria minors need to go through to get diagnosed with gender dysphoria. You don't know the standard of care that minors need to go through in order to receive gender affirming care. If you do not know these things, then you can't make a claim that the system is broken or is not working currently or needs to be different because you don't know what's currently happening.
Whatever I know or not, your claim is that minors deserve gender affirming care, and you are not answering why minors deserve it.
I answered it multiple times.
You're just asking me about processes and stuff.
I answered it multiple times. I said because all people deserve health care, and gender affirming care
all people are not minors, though. Minors are different.
Do you not
there
think
are certain things that all people can do that minors cannot do?
I'm sorry. Do you think minors don't deserve health care?
Cannot do.
Do you think minors don't deserve health care?
They deserve health care when they're sick, when they're hurt. Yeah.
Okay, great. So they
But
do
again,
deserve health
even
care.
in that
So when I
criteria,
say,
they still have to be consulted through the parents to get that health
so when
care.
I say, so fun fact, in order to receive gender affirming care, minors must go through their parents. Fun fact.
Absolutely not.
Yes, they do.
Fun fact,
Yes,
there
they
are
do.
transgender sanctuary
not.
states where a child can go and get the gender affirming care and the parents are stopped
No, doesn't
from
exist.
trying to prevent it. That is
Doesn't exist.
absolutely fact.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it is not. It is.
There are states:
No, it is not.
California,
No, it
Connecticut,
is not.
Colorado, Illinois, Massachusetts, Maryland, Minnesota, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Washington, and Vermont. If your child
Incorrect.
feels that they are something else, they can go to these states and they can get taxpayer-funded, gender-affirming, quote-unquote, health care, and the
Incorrect.
parents cannot stop them.
Here we go. Here we go. California. Children younger than 18 in California require parental consent to receive gender affirming medical care. Wow, Rob. One Google search. That's crazy. One Google search. Proved you wrong. It is illegal in every state to provide medical care to a child without parental consent unless parents are deemed incapable of providing that consent. And like the courts award the doctor's medical proxy. Otherwise, it's illegal. So you're wrong.
States that have declared themselves refugees for transgender people have essentially issued an invitation: get your gender affirming health care here without fearing prosecution at home.
Incorrect. You have sanctuary cities. You have sanctuary cities that will allow parents to go to, because there are states that do not allow parents to provide gender affirming care to their children. So parents can take their children to these states to get gender affirming care, but the children cannot go on their own, Rob. You are incorrect, and you really should admit right now that you are wrong. Otherwise, nobody is going to trust you on anything you say ever.
I'm not wrong.
You are.
I'm reading it. I'm reading it off your thing. You can say I am all you want, because that's your side that you got to stand in defense
Rob,
for.
You are just wrong.
You know,
you are just wrong.
I'm reading it off the Associated Press website, not some.
Wrong.
You know,
you are. Rob, I promise you, you are misreading it. I promise you that.
You still haven't said why they deserve it.
Because all people deserve medical care, Rob.
But if you think, but gender being a social construct, that means it's mental. Just because you think a certain way doesn't mean you automatically have to go through with it.
All people deserve mental health care too, Rob. Every single person on the planet deserves these things, yeah.
Person, yes, but we are categorizing specifically minors. And minors, it is different.
Minors deserve mental health care as well, Rob.
Over a certain age, a 14-year-old can't go buy a pack of cigarettes. Huh? But
cigarettes
a 25-year-old person
aren't healthcare,
can.
Rob.
There's difference between minors and everybody else.
Cigarettes aren't healthcare, Rob.
Healthcare is healthcare.
Cigarettes are not
healthcare.
healthcare.
How is giving a kid hormone blockers going to make them healthier?
Is this a joke?
It's not healthcare. It's agenda.
Rob, in order to receive hormone blockers, in order to receive like pubertal suppressants, what must a minor do, right, in order to receive these things?
Just say they're one thing, and then boom, done.
Incorrect.
And then some wacko doctor is going to be like, "Oh, you got gender dysphoria.
Rob, this is why.
Give me all the drugs."
Rob, this is why I told you that when you don't know these things, it's ridiculous to debate them. No, a child cannot just go, "I feel this way, boom, here are the drugs." That's not how it works. We have literal standards of care and processes that doctors, therapists, counselors, endocrinologists, all these people must go through in order to not only A, diagnose this child with gender dysphoria, which the diagnosis is needed if you're going through insurance to receive any of these things, and then B, after the diagnosis, get them approved for the care. You don't know these things. You're mad at a boogeyman.
I'm not mad at a boogeyman, especially when we have cases where if a parent doesn't comply with a minor's wish to have gender affirming care, they can actually be taken from the parent.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Show me a single case of a parent losing custody of their child because they didn't allow their child to go through gender affirming care. Show me a single case. Show me one.
Okay. All right. And if I show you one, will you admit that I'm right?
Well, yeah, because unlike you, I can admit when I don't know something.
So there was a case in Montana where a single father lost custody of his son because the ex wanted to get the son transitioned, and the father said no. So that child was taken away.
And given to the child wasn't taken away. The child is with their birth mother. How is that taken away?
Because the custody was with the father. And the son was staying with the father and his new wife. His ex-wife, who wasn't in the household, it was the Kirsta and Todd Kolstad case. They lost custody of their child over desire to change genders. And the ex, who was away from the home, wanted to change the child's gender. The guardians where the child was staying with said no, and that child was removed. What part of healthcare does that fall into?
I mean, I'm showing here that the father of the child, the child was consistently having seizures, and the father was ignoring it. Kind of interesting fact to leave out there.
Where are you reading that?
I'm showing this on an NBC report.
I'm reading I think I'm reading that same report. NBC Montana.
So here we go. Montana Child and Family Services officials took custody of the 14-year-old from parents Kirsta and Todd this month. According to Redux, the teenager is reportedly a biological female and recently began to express suicidal thoughts. While being treated at a hospital in August, doctors began using the child's preferred name. Who
determined the suicidal thoughts, by the way?
It would be doctors.
Who determined the suicidal thoughts?
It would have been doctors.
Okay. Sure.
While being treated at a hospital in August, doctors began using what would be the agenda from the doctors, Rob? You're just moving the goalpost every 5 seconds. What's the agenda, Rob?
I'm not moving the goalpost at all.
What's the agenda? What
because
is the doctor's
parents
agenda?
Are saying that they didn't have these feelings, but we have to listen to the doctors because they're quote unquote doctors.
Or maybe the child didn't come out to the parents because the parents are anti-trans. Maybe the child didn't come out to the parents because the child didn't want the parents to know because the parents are very clearly.
What does anti-trans have to do with the child deserving?
Wait, here we go. The parents reportedly opposed and noted allowing their child to undergo any form of gender transition, socially or medically, was a violation of their values, morals, and religious beliefs. So the parents made it very well known to the child that they didn't like trans people. So obviously the child's not going to come out to them. What? Why would they? Doctors reportedly later moved the 14-year-old to a specialized residential treatment facility in Wyoming.
By using drugs bought off Amazon. She was taken without a warrant from the state, without a warrant.
What do you think? Do you think Child Protective Services? Wait, I'm sorry. Do you think
Child
CPS
Protective Services lied to a court in order to take the 14-year-old child without a warrant?
I'm sorry, just really quickly. Do you think CPS needs warrants in order to remove children from homes?
Without cause, they sure do.
No, they don't. The CPS does not need a warrant to remove a child from a home, Rob. That's just ridiculous.
They absolutely do. Without cause. They can't just walk into somebody's house and say, I'm taking the kid.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't. Not without cause.
They can. They have the cause. They said the cause. What? Come on, bro.
You are so pro-trans. This pro
Yes, I'm very
mindset
pro-trans. I'm very pro-trans. 100%.
that you will defend child kidnapping. What is wrong with you?
It's not a child kidnapping. They were taken by CPS and given to their birth mother.
Without a warrant.
They were given to their birth mother, Rob. It's not like they were put into the system.
The birth mother who was out of the picture, not in the household.
Yeah,
in another state, as a matter of fact.
What does that have to do with anything?
It had to do with the child was being
Rob,
raised in a loving household.
Let me ask you a question,
and
Rob.
the woman
Rob,
couldn't
let me ask you a
take
question.
it,
A
so
loving
she
household that
decided to
wouldn't
get the
let their
child kidnapped.
a loving household that wouldn't let a loving household that wouldn't let their child be who their child truly was. Yeah, that's such a loving household. Amazing. Amazing.
A 14-year-old should be dictated to by the parents, not by what they feel. If they feel like they're an eagle, does that mean that they're an eagle?
Rob, let me just ask you: if you have a 14-year-old child,
if they feel like
Rob,
they are an eagle, are they an eagle?
Rob, answer me this question:
if they feel like they are an eagle, are they an eagle?
You're crashing out, Rob.
Fucking idiot!
You're crashing out, Rob. If you have a 14, Rob, you're crashing out.
You
crashed out, Rob. Crashed out hard.